Hey everybody, Jack Barrow's here, but many of you know me as Jacky B. After 40 years as a club and mobile DJ, taking the mic in a new way. Welcome to Voices on Main Street. It's the show where local businesses get a real voice. Every show we shine a spotlight on their stories, their expertise, and the things that matter most to their customers, and that's us. So whether you're a business owner looking to grow your influence or a neighbor who wants to know what's happening in your community, you're in the right place. Now let's dive into today's conversation and meet our guest. Today's On Top of the World Concert Chorus Showcase is brought to you by Hurricane Pawn, the place people trust when they need cash fast. If life throws you a surprise expense or you just need a little extra breathing room, their team makes pawning simple, fair, and judgment-free. Bring in something of value, walk out with cash, and you know your items are safe until you're ready to pick them up. Hurricane Pawn, real people, real value, right when you need it. Hey everyone, welcome to Voices on Main Street. Today we're hanging out with the directors of the amazing On the Top of the World Chorus as they gear up for their holiday show. Now, I'll tell you, this group, it's all hot, all harmony, and all Ocala. And they've got 90 voices bringing some serious holiday spirit to the community. We're talking music, community, and the moments that make this chorus a true standout. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Please help me welcome Joanne Houston and Cheryl Richardson. Ladies, great to have you here. Say hello to everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Hey there. Thanks for having us, Jack.
You're welcome. I'm excited. It's really to see you both here. Before we jump in, we always start every show the same way with our pass the mic question from our previous guest. Now, last time we sat down with Jamie Sens from a crystal mine up in Westboro, Massachusetts. This is a supersized crystal shop packed with wall-to-wall energy, intention, and some seriously impressive stones. Jamie had a beautiful question to pass forward to our guest today, and she asked, what brings you joy? So let's start right there. What brings you joy, ladies?
Well, we're fortunate and blessed that we've had music in our lives, our whole lives, and we've shared it with high school students for over 40 years, and now we're sharing it with kids from Ocala with gray hair. So music brings joy to everyone, and we make connections with the singers and with the audience because they feel our energy, and we have a lot of fun together through the joy of music.
Beautiful. I thank you for that. I love hearing what fuels people, especially in a group as passionate as this. Just a quick reminder for both of you, at the end of our show, we're going to ask you for your pass the mic question for our next guest. So keep that in the back of your mind as you go. All right, let's keep things rolling. Right now, we've got a fun segment we call People Are Asking. These are real questions folks around Ocala are searching for online, and we want to give them some quick answers straight from you. All right, we're going to do this a little quick rapid fire. First off, what would you tell someone who's looking for things to do in Ocala?
Well, if you want to look for something live music, come to the Cultural Center December 14th and 15th to see the On Top of the World Chorus.
They're a fabulous group of over 90 singers, and you're going to be entertained and go home with smiling and laughter and lots of fun.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to it. All right. Now, let me ask you, how would you describe what's happening here at On Top of the World?
On Top of the World has a ton to offer with classes and activities and music at the Cultural Center. The Circle Square Cultural Center is a beautiful facility with 930 seats, and we're going to fill the stage with singers and piano and lots of instruments and a variety of music from the holidays and popular music like All I Want for Christmas Is You with Mariah Carey and things like that. So it's an outstanding place if you're into sports or music or crafts or wood shop. It's all here. On Top of the World has it all, just like the name says.
That's amazing. It's amazing. And now, so you mentioned, I think you said the Circle Square Cultural Center. What makes this a great place to come see live music?
Well, the acoustics are wonderful in there. The facility itself, there's not a bad seat in the house. The people that run the place, Gary Pierre and his crew of Jessica and Katie, are phenomenal people, and they have acts like Billy Joel and Elton John, but then they're a great place for community activities such as the Oto Chorus, because honestly, that's the only place we can perform because the chorus has grown to over 90 people. So it's a wonderful facility to experience live entertainment.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I've been a couple of times myself. I've enjoyed it. So let's talk about you. Why should people in Ocala check out this chorus?
Well, there's nothing quite like us. I mean, there's 90 strong voices, and I think we put together a program that they're going to know the songs we sing and enjoy the arrangements. And I just can't think of a better way to spend $10 and an evening of fun.
So the show is only $10 admission?
Yeah, it's a great bang for your buck.
That sounds like the best $10 I've spent in a long time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what do you want locals to know about this show?
Well, I think the show, the thing that's unique about the chorus is obviously at OTO, there's people 55 and older. So we have people 55 and we have people 85, and everybody shares the joy of music. And the program itself, we start out with some very familiar Christmas carols that are college level arrangements of music because we both have extensive music backgrounds. So you'll understand and enjoy the music. We celebrate Hanukkah, we celebrate Christmas. As I mentioned earlier, the popular tunes of somebody like Mariah Carey. It's about a 75-minute concert, and for Cheryl said for $10, it's 3 o'clock on the 14th on Sunday and 6 o'clock on Monday. But it's really going to be a good time. There's a script and characters, and besides the singers who are in themselves characters. But so it's going to be a fun time.
So, and you kind of actually answered my next question. What makes this a fun event for people for looking for something to do? And you described an excellent itinerary. Okay, let me give you one more of these questions. If someone searched events, why should in Ocala, local events in Ocala, why should this be on their list?
Well, because of the fact that there's no other group in Ocala with 92 singers and with this variety of music. As Cheryl mentioned, there's great music with the Ocala Symphony Orchestra and great productions at the theater, the Civic Theater. But this is unique. There's all these people who are retired and they come from all walks of life. And many of them sang in high school and they haven't sung since. And so when they come to join, we don't do any auditions. Everyone's welcome, all different levels. They make relationships, and it's just such a unique experience because no one's turned away. And they often say to us, Tuesday is my favorite day of the week. I can't wait to get here and sing with everyone and be with everyone. So I think that's why it's unique versus some of the other things that are wonderful, but there's nothing like this.
Awesome. It's really awesome. One last one. What's the vibe people can expect when they walk in?
I hope it's joy. We are all in feeling that Christmas spirit, and sometimes you come in kind of tired and weary a little bit, and we're hoping that they see a sense of joy and happiness and cheerful and come out with a little bit of spark in their step and ready to embark on a great Christmas season for their family and their friends.
Excellent, excellent. As I said, I'm really looking forward to this show. All right, let's shift gears. We talked about the show. Now let's get personal. These are just some quick, honest answers. What makes you part of this course and why does it matter to you? So we're going to try to show the humor behind the expertise in this segment we call Let's Get Personal. So what's your favorite? And I guess we're going to say first question, I guess, will be for Joanne. What's your favorite part about being in this group?
Well, music is such a wonderful thing to share with people. And for us, we've done this for over 40 years, each of us. And, to make a relationship with the people as they go through many things in their life and then bring them joy through music. There is nothing in life like music, and we both do church music as well at one of the local churches. And, you make very, very personal connections with musicians as they share their talents and share their lives with us. So I think music is just an incredible art form that brings out the best in everybody.
I would agree. I spent 40 years as a DJ. People are glad to see you coming. All right. And this is a toss up. Whoever wants to answer, though, what's one memory from rehearsals that makes you smile?
Well, I have lots, but I guess one of the ones I guess I'll share is I want them to do choreography while they sing. And so you see some moans and groans about memorizing because you can't do an arm motion and hold your music, right? So, and I would try to do just no feet, just hands and stuff. And so it's really interesting to see their approach to trying it for the first time. Like you want to memorize the whole song? Well, yeah, we're not gonna do half of it. And then when they succeed in doing it and just see the process of learning it and the joy they finally feel that I can still do this. I might be 70 years old, but I can still do something like I did when I was in high school. It's just pure joy for me to see that happen.
And they say, we still got it. And I say, yeah, you just can't remember where you put it. So, and we put elf hats on them the other day too. So they were like, we got to wear these hats. And we're like, yeah, you got to wear these hats. So that's what the show ends like, singing, dancing, and, 92 elves up on the stage. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's amazing. So what does singing do for you personally?
I think it's self-expression. It's a chance, like Cheryl mentioned, sometimes you get caught up in the day-to-day things that go on in your lives, whether it's family or the news or whatever. And I think music is such a passion, and to be able to express yourself. And we had somebody say the other day, one of our songs is a medley from the movie Frozen. And a lot of them really haven't seen Frozen. So we told them to go watch it. And one of them, they had said, oh, I don't know if I'm going to like this. And then they texted us. And the other day in rehearsal, they said, okay, you were right. I was crying when I just sang the last song. So you were right. So the fact that you can reach your inner emotions and feel safe to just say that was a wonderful experience is awesome.
Right.
And that is awesome. And that's just the power of music. I personally feel blessed that I had a career like that,
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have another question for you. This is what the people are asking, but it's kind of what I'd like to know is what do you hope people feel when they hear you sing?
Well, we talk about that a lot with our singers, that's one of the most important parts of presenting a piece of music is not just all the notes and the rhythms to be correct, but that the text makes a big difference. And so I need for you to feel the genuine emotion of each song. Some are just really happy and fun and easy, but we need to show that on our face and not, but some are beautiful and reflective. And I want it to be a roller coaster ride for my audience, that there's ups and then there's peaceful and meditative things and then comes up and is joyful, and that they have a variety of emotions that are attached to a song called Sweet Silent Night is very different than North Pole Rock and Roll.
Excellent. Excellent.
We always
All right.
get into facial expression with them because we tell them that singing the notes is awesome, and most of them are perfectionists from their former life and career. So that's cool. But what's really cool is I always tell them, don't forget, the eyes are the windows to the soul. So if you put your head down and read your music, the audience misses out on half of the performance, which is your face. And they can't feel unless they see you feel, and you show that through your eyes and your facial expression.
Awesome. Awesome. Geez, I feel like I'm on The Voice. I'm getting some coaching going here. Right? I hope you viewers are paying attention. These ladies are full of wisdom today. All right. Time for us to make the donuts. And today's show is powered by our friends at Hurricane Pond, the place people trust when they need cash fast without the stress. Here's the truth. Life happens. Surprise bill shows up. The car needs work. Maybe you just need some breathing room until payday. Hurricane Pond makes getting a loan simple, safe, and judgment-free. Bring in something of value, look out with cash on the spot, and know your items are protected until you're ready to pick them up. And if you're not looking for a loan today, they still got plenty to explore. Jewelry, tools, electronics, instruments, collectibles. The shelves are always changing. And it's a treasure hunt and a lifeline all in one place. So whether you need quick cash or you just want to see what's up, stop by Hurricane Pond and say hello. They'll treat you right every single time. That's the personal section. We're going to move on next to we call the local loop. And what this is, and I'm going to run through it real quickly. We're going to spin the wheel, the mystery wheel, and there's 5 segments on it. And any one of them could pop up. There's the local love drop. So that's usually this is we're doing businesses. Doing this art show is something we love to do. A local love drop is a freebie discount or a special offer listeners can grab. The biz shout out, it's our local lift. We give props to a local business, a vendor, or a creator in the area. We have a pro tip drop. So that's a fast, practical nugget of wisdom for your audience. We also have a segment that could be behind the biz, something real, human, or unexpected about you. And then our final wildcard question, curveball Q. This is a random surprise question. It's light, it's fun, it's personal. All right. Are you ladies ready to spin the local loop?
We are, Mr. Jack. Go for it.
Yeah, we spin the wheel. What's it gonna be? Dun, 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 dun. All right. It is the pro tip drop. All right.
So that's a
Excellent.
practical nugget
Nugget.
of wisdom.
That is going to be a practical nugget from you ladies. Here, let me just pull you up here. And we start sharing. There they are. So what's a practical tip that you can share with our audience?
Well, I think through music, which we've spent our lives doing, you just need to experience music yourself, whether you're a participant in the audience or whether you're a participant singing. Music is a sharing emotional experience, and it'll take you away from everyday life. And there's nothing like music to be involved in. So I guess that's what I would say. Come to the concert because we're gonna give you a lifetime memory and take you back to childhood memories and so forth through our music.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. Excited. Great. All right. Segment next. We're going to talk a local tip or action. So, what I think would be interesting is how can people connect with you if they want to join your group or come see you in the future after the show?
Well, the first Tuesday in January, we will be starting up our spring concert music. And this year it's a celebration of the birth in our country. And Oto is really celebrating, the anniversary. And so we're going to do some patriotic music and some popular music. I've already picked some selections. Even the chorus doesn't know this yet, but I'm going to take us on a journey. Kind of like, the old TV commercial, see the USA in your Chevrolet, right? So we're gonna visit hotspots in America. Like one of the tunes we're going to be singing is New York, New York, which is a wonderful tune. And so you don't have to audition. You just have to have a love of music. It's every Tuesday up at the Arbors Convention Center in the music room. So you come at
From
about
9 to 11.
Yeah, you come in about 8:45, and the first week you come, we give you the music and kind of acclimate you to the process. So it's a 2-hour rehearsal every Tuesday, and our concerts are going to be April 12th and April 13th. So we do 2 concerts a year. There's a winter one and a spring one, and this will be popular music throughout the United States. And so it'll be some blues, some jazz, some pop, and obviously patriotic because that's the theme of Oto Celebration this year.
Awesome. That's incredible. That's incredible. So I'm a DJ because you really don't want to hear my voice.
Oh, no, I don't think that's true. I can tell that you'd be a nice bass, but we're fortunate too, Jack, because we have plenty of ladies, but we're up to over 30 guys in our chorus. So our men's section is really, rocking, and that's unusual too. When we see other groups around, oftentimes the guys aren't involved, and we have 30 guys, and they do a fabulous job. So especially if more guys want to join, that would be great.
Interesting. I guess there's people to drown me out too. So smooth those edges out, and that is impressive that you have that many people. Because my generation, when I went to high school, I'll never forget. The boys would line up against the wall, and the girls would all dance.
Right.
Yeah, the boys didn't, and then I had a couple of friends. They like dragged me out there, and I'm like, oh wow, we can have fun. So yeah, yeah. I think that's when I first fell in love with music because of the girls. I don't
That's
know.
right. Right.
Imagine that.
Right. Yeah.
All right. There's a couple more things we close out. Uh, so far, we've guided the conversation up to this point. I've had the microphone, I've asked the questions, and you roll with it all beautifully. And I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have. But
Sure.
now I want to hand it over to you. And this segment is called Flip the Mic. Now, you can take this anywhere you want. You can ask me a question, or you can use this moment to talk about something that's important to you, or shout out to someone in the course in the community. The mic is yours.
Go on.
Go on. All right. Well, I'm intrigued about your DJ business for 40 years. And I know that through all the different things you've done with personal events, weddings, all sorts of things, that you've had some incredible memories. And, I was a high school administrator too. And I always said I knew math and English were important. But when it comes time to plan your wedding or a funeral or an honorary service, it's about the music because nobody cares what you know about your math formula. So at the end of the day, music is part of every part of life. So what kind of memories have touched you throughout your DJ business, that stick out in your mind?
This day, you know, there's a lot of drugs in the world, but for me, the greatest high in this world is when I'm playing music and I play the next song and people, bring it in a little bit and people hear it. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm off the ground. It's such so exhilarating, and I miss that, and I'm kind of getting that back with you, ladies. So yeah, no, I love that. But when people find the joy in the music, it's it's the greatest feeling in the world for me. So yeah, that, there's been a lot of great moments, but I think that one stands out the most for me. It's the
And I guess
best.
I just love to encourage people if they don't have music in their life that they find a way to bring it back because I think it's healing. Music can heal us in a way that nothing else sometimes can. And if you've, like walked away from being a part of music or having it in your everyday life just by flipping on the radio, I think you'd find some real healing power in music if you just gave it a chance.
Well, and we always tell them, don't act like you don't remember. We can't memorize that song. I said, I pull up next to you at the traffic light and you're rocking out to your radio over there. So don't tell me you can't remember.
Yeah.
And, they think, well, I've gotten old now. My voice isn't this or that. Well, it doesn't matter. We put 90 plus voices together and we all make one voice, so it's like, don't give up on yourself. Come and, we end up, in rehearsal, people will say, I just got a cancer-free diagnosis, or I have to start treatment, pray for me. And that's why I think it's grown so much, because it's become a close-knit group of people that care about each other through music and find lots of joy. And yet she mentioned Sweet Silent Night as this beautiful song that's very tearful, so I think they experience the big part of emotion in all of those ways in their 2-hour rehearsal. So, we greet them at the door and, they always tease us, you're like classroom teachers, saying hi and goodbye and giving hugs and, all that kind of stuff. But, it's been a joy that they get to share together, and we're blessed to be a part of it.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. So I know you ladies are similar to me. We kind of retired, but nah, not really.
Yeah, Cheryl said the other day, Joe, we may have to consider a sabbatical from retirement. What do you think?
I would have to agree with that. Now, before we wrap up, we do have one last tradition, and this is where you get to pass something forward. At the end of every episode, we ask our guests to leave a question for the next guest who sits in that seat. It can be fun, thoughtful, deep, simple, anything you want. So, what question would you like to pass the mic with?
Well, I was thinking about laughter is the best medicine. And sometimes our world is there's so many complexities happening, lots of worries and heaviness. And so my question is, how can you bring laughter into your life every day? Try and set aside a little bit of time to, not take yourself so seriously. So what is it that brings you joy and laughter yourself? How can you enjoy a moment away from the heaviness of the other aspects of life? So that's what I would think is a good question.
Perfect. Thank you for that. I love hearing the questions I guess. Choose to fast forward. And I know the next person's going to have fun with that. All right. Now, this one's for the listeners that have stayed with us all the way to the end. And we have something special for you folks. And we call it our mystery guest. And it's our way of saying thank you to everyone who listens to the full episode and supports the incredible people that we feature. For this show, partnered with the On Top of the World cars, and I'm going to let them tell you exactly what it is to anyone who hears this part of the interview. Now, I do want to ask that you not put anything in the comments about what this mystery gift is, because then they won't have to watch to the end, right? So, all right, ladies, what is the mystery gift for our listeners today?
Well, we would like to meet some people that have listened to the broadcast. So at the end of the show, we want to have a little director's meet and greet moment. And we'll also give 2 tickets for the spring concert for them to enjoy. So we would love to see who's been at this event and come and meet us and talk to us after the show.
That's amazing, amazing to meet and greet. All right. A huge thank you to Hurricane Pond for sponsoring today's On Top of the World Concert Chorus Showcase. When our community needs quick cash, they show up with honesty, fairness, and real understanding. Support the local businesses that support all of us. Stop in, say hello, and see why so many people trust Hurricane Pond when they need a loan they can feel good about. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been wondering what to do this holiday season, make sure you put the OTOW concert on your calendar. That's December the 14th and 15th. And for more information, now you've got the inside scoop, thanks to Joanne and Cheryl. For the full breakdown, you can head on over to the voiceonmainstreet.com. Now, we do want to make sure you subscribe, leave a review. If you have a question, DM us. It might be on a future episode. So, how can they get in touch with you? Should they just show up to a rehearsal or?
No, there's an email. My email is Joanne, JOANNE Houston, HOUSTON 57 at gmail.com. And if you email me and give me a way to contact you, I can give you information about joining the group or upcoming performances or where to buy tickets.
We have a website.
We do have a website, otochorus.com. It's not managed by us, it's by somebody in the group. So they could look on the OTO website as well. But we're always willing to return phone calls and answer questions so people feel comfortable to come to a rehearsal and join us.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much, ladies. I really enjoyed your stay with us. And give us a little wave for our audience as we say goodbye.
See you at the concert.
All right, folks, that's going to wrap up today's episode of Voice on Main Street. A big thank you to Joanne Houston and Cheryl Richardson from On Top of the World Concert Chorus. 90 voices strong and bringing so much joy to Ocala. And because you stayed with us all the way to the end, here's your reminder about the mystery gift. Just don't share. It's only for the people who stayed all the way to the end. You're the insiders here. Enjoy it. Now, their holiday concert is happening December the 14th at 3 p.m. and December 15th at 6 p.m. at the Circle Square Cultural Center. Tickets are just $10 at the door. And if you're catching this episode after the holidays, keep an eye out for their spring concert in April as they celebrate America's 250th birthday. That show's going to be something special. And before we go, remember to pass the mic question they're leaving for our next guest? How do you find laughter? Come back next time to hear how Jeff Stone of Hurricane Pond answers that one. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting local. Make sure you subscribe. We'll see you on the next episode of Voices on Main Street.